went to jail on my birthday because the restaurant wouldn't split the bill.
Okay, so he went to jail on his birthday, he's saying, because the restaurant wouldn't split the bill. So let's get into this.
I'm never doing a 20-person birthday, nothing, like never again. So long story short, I didn't know that when you go to a restaurant that even though it's like 20 people that you won't get your own individual check. I know that gratuity is added when it's 20 people, I'm cool with that. But I didn't know that when it's 20 people at a 5-star restaurant that it comes out to one check and the check is in the person who booked the reservations, which was me.
So he said he set up his birthday dinner for 20 people at a 5-star restaurant, and he didn't know that each of the 20 people were not going to be allowed to get their individual checks. You don't know what you don't know, but folks, when you do something drastically different, like if he's only used to doing small groups or maybe small groups at just like low-end restaurants, you're going to bump up to 20 people at a 5-star. You gotta you don't know what you don't know, of course, but if you're going to drastically change your normal what you do and go to a place with a large group, even if you're used to doing large groups, talk to the restaurant and find out what their policies are. Don't make assumptions. All right.
So they bring out the cake and the birthday and they do the light show and they bring like the Don Julio 1942 because I'm known for drinking. So the bill was like $7,900. I gotta look on my credit card bill. It's like $7,900 and something dollars. So I'm like.
So the bill is almost $8,000. Is just according to what he's saying. Of course, I don't advocate drinking. And he said he's known for drinking. Maybe that was his other mistake. He's drunk or intoxicated or tipsy and doesn't know what he's doing. Bad situation.
Like, hey, no, like it's my birthday, but I'm not splitting it. I'm telling the waiter that, I'm telling Michael that, and he like, yeah, here we don't do separate checks. Everybody gets one check. So I'm telling everybody that I'm with, like we can just split it. We can split it by 20, the 7,900. It was like 7,900. I said we could split it by the 20 of us, or.
Okay, so he's gonna split the $8,000 bill by 20 people and sound like just make everybody pay the same thing. So if you do that, let's see, if it's 8,000, that'd be like $400 per person. I can tell you right now, a lot of folks that's not going to fly if they didn't order $400 worth of food. And these people, like him, I guess they get to drinking all of this expensive booze, and then maybe you got people that don't drink, and then you're going to expect each person to pay $400. Maybe they ordered $100 or $100 something dollars worth of food. That's not going to work.
I could just come around and everybody Cash App and Apple Pay me like that. So I get up and the server go away. So I get up and go, one girl, she like, well, I'm not paying for something that, like, my food was cold, and if it was good, I would have ate all of my food. So then I'm just like.
Okay, so his part one, at the end of it, he's saying there's some girl, lady that was saying her food was cold and she didn't eat all of it and she's unhappy with it. And folks, you set up an event like this where you're required to pay the whole bill and then collect money from the individuals. Unless you really, really know the folks well, and you know that they're good for whatever they order and they can afford whatever they order. It's a bad thing to spot them the money or to pay the bill and then try to go around and collect. Another way to do this is if you're going to have a birthday dinner, go to a place that will give you a fixed menu, and of course it'll be fixed price, and then even before the event, have everybody pay you. That's what we've done. A number of events that we've done is got a fixed menu. People can choose which they want, whether they want the chicken, whether they want the steak, or blah, 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 and whatever options. So they know what they're going to get ahead of time, and they pay you ahead of time. And then when you get to the restaurant, it's all a matter of you paying the one bill like they require, and everybody's already paid. Everybody can have a good time. All right, let's see what he's saying in part 2 of this video, that he went to jail on his birthday because the restaurant wouldn't split the bill.
About the receipt, it's off by like $1,100 because I had to pay for bottle service for the girls to bring out the 1942 in like the sign, basically saying like happy birthday, never cared. So just to clear it up. And then there's a picture down here of me actually like there on my birthday. So the girl is basically like, she don't want to pay for her food, it's cold. So I'm telling her like, if you have cold food, you could have been just said something. She like, well, I'm not gonna say nothing. This not even a type of place that I would come to. And I'm not splitting, the $400 if I only got like $150 worth of food. And as I'm going around trying to get like everybody's payment method, I'm trying to get money. Everybody's like, their card is locked. They don't have Apple Pay. Their Cash App is locked. Like all the waiter, he keeps coming back, and I'm like, just give me a second, just give me a second. He's like, well, his manager already called the police and they're about to close.
He takes a bunch of broke people. He takes. Let me take some breath. This is like a, I don't know, Sanford and Son comedy routine here. He takes. Let me look at the picture in picture. He takes a bunch of broke folks to a 5-star restaurant that costs, hundreds of dollars per person to eat, depending on if you're, what you're ordering. And it sounds like he's like a boozer, drinker. He takes a bunch of broke folks to a fancy, expensive restaurant where he's stuck, where he's going to have to pay everything up front. But these broke folks sit up there ordering all of this stuff. Then are going to have to reimburse him, and he's going to have to, after the meal and after the $8,000, well, he said $7,900. Let's say $8,000 bill comes. He's going to have to pay $8,000, then go around to each of these broke folks that don't have the money, who have sat up there and ate the food, where they're like the one young lady or one lady ate $150, and then some people must have had, hundreds of dollars, and get them to give him money to cover this. Maybe he just should have gone to Denny's. Or I don't know, Olive Garden or Red Lobster. But see, it sounds like that wouldn't even be a problem with that young lady who sat up there and said she's not going to pay the $150 that she rightfully owed, because she sat up there and ordered the food, didn't say anything, said, oh, it was cold. And I guess she's expecting him to pay the $150, cover it. That's wrong. The restaurant, they wasn't having this. The manager called the police, and apparently he went to jail. So, ooh boy, you got to know your people, and maybe you take yourself out alone to these fancy places. But if your people aren't on that level and know how to act, you got to just, I don't know, take them to McDonald's, but then by yourself go to the 5-star place. You gotta, if you got friends that can afford it, that's fine, but you gotta be able to shift in and out. Maybe you and your small group that can't afford it, know how to conduct themselves, you go to the 5-star, but have a larger group dinner, and you go to Red Lobster or Olive Garden, or if you got to and you just got to, take them to Popeye's Chicken. No shame in that. Hey, It's food. You can have a gathering and laugh and talk, and don't have this drama where you're in handcuffs being taken by the popo on your birthday. All right, folks, that's it.